Hi, I'm Laurel, a historian from the year 2300. I come from a world of peace. No war and no poverty. Everyone carries a translation chip. So language? Never a problem. Whatever we say, whatever we think, we understand each other instantly. It's the most peaceful era in human history. And yet, the one that understands pain the least. In our world, you can choose your path freely. And even when mistakes are made, the price is never too high. But I kept wondering, what about those who never had a choice? The women whose names history forgot. How did they survive? They were never recorded. Their suffering was treated like background noise, just part of the scenery. Back then, all I could do was observe from afar, watch their lives through our research systems, record without interfering. Until one day, I may or may not have accidentally rewired some protocols during maintenance. I didn't mean to, but I ended up giving myself a way in. Now, just for a short time, I can step into their world myself. Sometimes it goes wrong. Like this time, I was supposed to open the side door to a shrine behind a manor. Instead, I popped out right into the Lord's bathhouse. We locked eyes for 4 full seconds. He screamed. I panicked so hard, I jumped dimensions on the spot. Moral of the story? Never set coordinates while wearing PJs and sneaking out. Anyway, this time, I got it right. I've landed in a grand estate in Jiangnan. My focus? The third concubine. She's in her early 40s. And she cries, quietly every day. No one in that household really sees her. But I do. A wealthy home in a southern town is draped in red decorations. Not for a wedding. For the arrival of the Lord's 6th concubine. The girl, no more than 14, is dressed in red and gold. Terrified. Eyes darting. Holding back tears. In a far corner of the hall sits the 3rd concubine, watching silently as a girl younger than her own daughter is led in. Then looking at the aging lord with his whitening hair and growing belly. Her eyes filled with weariness and a quiet, aching pity. She's been in this house for 20 years. She was once like that girl. Young, frightened, told it was a happy occasion when she was carried in. Now, the Lord hasn't stepped foot in her room for a long time. At night, it's just her and the flickering lamp. Her food, her clothes, they lack for nothing. Outsiders call her fortunate. But that loneliness? It chokes her. Sometimes, she can't even finish a meal. Once, on the street, she saw college students walking hand in hand, laughing with freedom on their faces. She stopped suddenly, as if struck in the chest. She hates that she never had a choice. Hates her parents, who sold her to this house so her brother could go to school. She never says it, but the anger burns inside her every day. There was someone once, a young street artist selling ink paintings at the market. His eyes were clear, his smile gentle and without agenda. They met eyes just once at a street corner. He smiled. She rushed away and spent the whole night putting makeup on her face. She knew what it was, but she also knew she couldn't go near him. That evening, as she returned to her room, her maid Ayu came toward her with hot water and quietly slipped a candy into her palm. "Madam, the wind's chilly tonight. Something sweet might help you sleep." She blinked, startled, then smiled, just a little. It was the first time in years she felt remembered. She didn't reply, just tucked the candy beside her pillow, saving it for tomorrow, as if trying to hold on to that feeling. That night, she made a decision. She opened her old chest, took out a red dress she hadn't worn in years, shaped her brows, dabbed on lipstick. She tried smiling in the mirror. The first smile brought out her wrinkles. The second made her cry. Still, she stepped out, hoping just once he'd notice. But all she got was scorn. "What are you doing, dressing like that at your age?" The Lord frowned, then walked away without looking back. The younger concubines stifled laughter in the hallway. One mimicked her walk. Another sneered. "She really thinks she's something, huh?" She held it together until midnight. Then she slipped away, into the bamboo grove behind the house. The wind was cold, the moonlight pale. She carried a white scarf, ready to end it all. She had just closed her eyes when something snapped. The scarf tore. She looked up and saw me. I was wearing white. My clothes shimmered oddly. I said nothing, just pointed. A soft beam of light flicked across the scarf, cleanly cutting it loose. She collapsed to the ground, eyes wet. She thought she was seeing a goddess. I stepped closer, helped her up, led her to a flat stone near the edge of the woods. We sat. The wind whispered through the trees. She stared at me, dazed. "Are you a goddess?" she asked. I shook my head, gently but firmly. "No, just someone from very far away." I didn't say where or how I broke the scarf. Honestly, technical explanations ruin the mood. Instead, I asked, "Why did you want to end it?" She didn't speak much at first. She was guarded. So I said nothing, just sat with her. Let the silence breathe. Eventually, she talked. It spilled out like a broken dam. She wasn't afraid of trying, just tired of being stopped. Every time she dared imagine change, someone told her it was useless. "I've never talked like this to anyone," she whispered. I said nothing. Sometimes being heard is enough. Later, we made a plan. I told her, "I can't change the rules of this world, but I can give you one chance to vanish and be mistaken for someone who's gone." 2 days later, the servants found her dead. She'd poisoned herself. Her skin pale, her body cold. No one asked too many questions. They put her in a simple coffin, ready to bury her. But just before it closed, I opened the time door again and switched her out. In the coffin, just stones. She had already changed clothes, covered her face. We slipped out the city unnoticed. At the train station, we waited for a train to the big city. A boy with a delivery basket nearly bumped into her. He steadied her quickly, flustered. So sorry." She paused and remembered how she used to be, too shy to hold a gaze. That young painter had smiled the same way. She smiled too, and for once, didn't feel like someone whose story was over. Clutching a small bundle, holding the money I gave her, her very first, truly her own, she whispered, "How could you not be a goddess?" Tears streamed down her face. I never thought I'd get a second chance. I smiled back. "I'm no goddess. I'm not anyone's savior. You were ready to begin again. I was just here. Go to the city. From today on, choose for yourself." The train's whistle blew. She gripped my hand tightly. I whispered, "This isn't running away. It's choosing." She nodded. And finally, let go. As the train pulled away, she saw me wave and smile. Then I turned and stepped through a glowing door that shimmered against the station wall. It closed without a sound, as if I was never there. She's no longer a forgotten shadow. From that moment on, her life truly belonged to her. I'm Laurel, a historian from the year 2300. I travel through time to witness the stories that were never meant to be lost. Next time, I'll meet another her. A name history forgot, but whose courage deserves to be remembered. In every era, there are women who quietly change the course of their fate.